Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. This is a annual meeting that we have to join both the Fire Chiefs associations for both San Bernardino and Riverside County. The fire service is always networking. We're always working together, and this is a great partnership that we've had for a number of years. I'm going to turn it over. My name is Dale Hutchinson. I'm the CALFire region chief, but I also serve as the fire and rescue coordinator for the Inland Empire area of California. And I'd like to turn it over to Chief John Hawkins for the Riverside County Fire Chiefs Association and Chief Mike Bell from the San Bernardino County Fire Chiefs Association.
Good morning. My name is John Hawkins, and I'm honored to serve as the CALFire Riverside County Fire Chief and also President of the Riverside County Fire Chiefs Association. Today is a very important day for getting out the message of the importance of ready, set, go. And what does that mean to civilian public safety, public fire safety? The fire agencies of Riverside and San Bernardino County are united, and united in a common cause. And that's always to provide the very best protection that the public deserves and expects. We all thrive and subscribed to a regional cooperative integrated fire protection system. With that, I would like to call to your attention in 2013, firefighters responded to more than 1,000 wildland fires between Riverside and San Bernardino counties. This is slightly less than 2012, but higher in the amount of destruction because during 2013, 47,000 acres burned between the two counties. We believe in Ready, Set, Go. Ready, Set, Go means it is not an acronym, but a saying to everyone that everyone can understand that when a wildfire occurs, it's time to go. And when we say be ready, that means have all of your kits, your family possessions, the things that you might call a go bag, ready to grab, and you be ready. We ask you to harden your home against the impacts of wildland fire, and that includes taking and plugging the bird holes at the end of the tiles, of putting in safer construction measures, and most importantly, of having defensible space around your home of at least 100 feet to allow the firefighters a chance to save your home. So we say then when the fire occurs, you need to get set. And you're like a runner in the blocks. And your body is charged and ready to go. And you are set. We mean get set. So that when the starter's pistol says go, then you move without fail. And the last step of ready, set, go is go early. Don't hesitate. When law enforcement calls the order to evacuate, we ask that you go. Go early. It will lead to a much more orderly evacuation and hopefully everyone reaching a safe destination. Let me call to your attention 2013 on the afternoon of July the 17th, when we made the decision to evacuate the community of Idlewild, 5,600 people. When we did that, we used a previous defined evacuation plan, and we told the people, go early, and they did. And it was a very orderly evacuation where people left to go to Hemet or to Banning or wherever their destination would be to get out of fire's harm's way. With that, it's my honor to introduce to you Fire Chief Mike Bell, the Fire Chief of the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department and the President of the San Bernardino County Fire Chiefs Association. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief, and good morning. What you see before you, these fire chiefs represent local, state, and federal agencies in our region. These types of meetings are happening both in our area, LA County, and other areas to ensure that we are, in fact, ready to be responsive to any kinds of fires that might occur this season. We just got out of a meeting here where we heard that really fire season never ended. in 2013. And as we face the challenge of drought conditions throughout our region, throughout the state, it's more important than ever for our agencies to be working together and to get this message out to our communities. The Ready, Set, Go brochures that you have as part of your press kits are available through our fire departments in our communities, and it's important to point out that they've been sponsored in large part by the local Fire and Burn Foundation here in the Inland Empire, as well as Southern California Edison, the Southern California Gas Company, and Wells Fargo. Those brochures are also available in Spanish for those folks in our communities who speak Spanish. We want to point out, as we just noted, that our local history here is rife with large and destructive wildfires. Chief Hawkins just spoke of the one last year in 2013 in Riverside County, but for most of us, 2003, 2007 represent just unbelievable years of destruction in which hundreds of homes were lost and many people lost their lives. So it's not a matter of if this is going to happen, it's a matter of when. And so it's that much more important that we're all prepared, both as professional responders and as our communities, those who especially live in those areas that are prone to this type of destruction. So the public plays such an important role in all of this, and it becomes more so as, again, we face these drought conditions. There's other ways for the public to be involved through fire safe councils, through CERT programs, through their emergency management programs in their cities, and I would encourage all of you who have access to those resources to look them up on your website, call your fire departments, find out what kind of programs exist in your communities that you can get involved in to be part of the solution prior to these incidents ever occurring. A good example of that, both in San Bernardino and Riverside County, are the mountain area safety task forces that have been in place for many, many years now. And we are seeing tangible results from their efforts in the form of major projects reducing the fuels in those areas. I think the Chief Hawkins just mentioned they made a big difference last year in the fire up near Idlewild. We know we've seen the same outcomes over in San Bernardino County up in the Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear regions and other places. So there's plenty of ways that the public can be involved to help reduce the impacts of these major incidents. Again, we thank you for coming out today and being part of this this press briefing, and we're available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you very much.
Why do you think that this year might be a particularly bad fire season?
Well, primarily the reason it is shaping up that way is because of the drought that this state's been experiencing now for several years. Just a week ago in San Bernardino County, we had our joint cooperators meeting, and we had a weather report delivered by a member of the National Weather Service, and it just doesn't look good. There's been no appreciable precipitation in our area really over the past year, and looking forward, there's none coming. So the field moisture levels are already down to levels that we wouldn't see probably until late fall. So what he is telling us is that if we have fires, the potential for them to become large fires and to have extreme fire behavior is very real this year. Any other questions?
What's your environment as far as resources? Is it different this year or anything new? Do you need resources?
Yes, Chief Hutchinson might be better suited to answer that question.
Thank you. I'll pick up on what Mike talked about as far as the conditions this year. As was stated earlier, fire season 2013, based on the weather conditions, the southern part of California did not go out of fire season. We had resources staffed, engines, crews, bulldozers, and aircraft to meet the threat all winter long. And we've had about twice as many fires and twice as many acres burned in this time of the year, beginning of 14, compared to previous years. So we're seeing a higher level of incident activity, and we're seeing the acreage burned go up. And that's relative to not only the drought we've experienced this year, but also the previous year, because we've had 2 and almost 3 back-to-back really dry years. So the fuel conditions are there, and what the fire service as a whole has been doing is really doing a lot of early preparation work, having their cooperator meetings such as this earlier. We are all training and getting prepared for the summer months earlier. In the CALFire system, we are staffing equipment sooner than we normally would. The southern part of California is at a level of staffing similar that we would have in the beginning of June, and we have it here in the end of April because we've had to move things forward based on the conditions. And I don't want to speak for my federal counterparts, but all of the agencies are doing the same thing. We're getting out and doing our defensible space inspections. We're out informing the public. We are out doing our preseason training. And as far as resources and capabilities, all of the agencies are going to have all of their resources similar to last year. And then on the CALFire perspective, we're going to have our peak season, which is the middle of the summer resources. We'll have them staffed up earlier to meet the threat.
Did your Southern California resources ever change from last fall?
We reduced from peak down to what we call transition staffing level at the end of fall, and we stayed at that level all the way through the winter, which is traditionally different than normally we reduce to even a lower level. We always have year-round fire season in Southern California and just about everywhere in California, but in Southern California we had to have additional resources on all winter long to meet the threat. Go ahead, Mike.
In terms of resources, I'd like to at least, I'm going to put them on the spot, let Chief Hartwig from San Bernardino County Fire step up, and because there's some new resources that have been implemented through, at least in San Bernardino County, in respect to, which add to the capability of what's happening in San Bernardino County.
Thank you, Chief Bell. The San Bernardino County Fire Department in particular this year has partnered with the Sheriff's Department to take advantage of some of the inmates that many of you are familiar with in the AB 109 realignment. Some of those inmates, the same inmates that were being used when they were being held longer at the state prisons, are now in the county jails, and perfect resources for us to use in hand crews. We've trained Glen Helen 1 and 2 out of the Glen Helen Rehabilitation Center, and we hope to, by the end of this calendar year, be up to a full 5 crews, Glen Helen 1 through 5. We've also instituted a seasonal non-incarcerated hand crew with fire suppression aides. Those are working now. We'll have 2 of those crews, and as Chief Bell said, those crews are really responsible for some of the fuels reduction and brush clearances that we have in our urban interface areas, particularly in San Bernardino County, but a lot of it in the mountain areas of Lake Arrowhead, Crestline, Running Springs, and Big Bear Lake, and then of course the Wrightwood area, which is across the Cajon Pass. So thank you, Chief Bell, and of course the sheriff flies a helicopter, Type 2 helicopters that are available for water dropping, as well as the county fire department staffing dozers, which are normal resources.
Do you still have access to the DC-10?
I'll defer to CALFire on that. I know that they gave us some information this morning.
Thanks, Chief Hartwig. The DC-10, or the Very Large Air Tanker, it's going to be under contract with the United States Forest Service on exclusive use, and that allows it to then be utilized by all of the fire agencies, wildland fire agencies in not only California but nationally. So it's one of the resources that will be available.
If there are no further questions, we thank you very much for being here. There are press kits available over here, and we thank the staff of the Riverside County Fire Department, San Bernardino County Fire Department, Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, the team over there that helped put all this together. So thank you very much for being here this morning.